So the first measurement I'll be taking right here is my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement divide by 2. That's what I'll be taking right here on my bust line, my under bust line, and on the waistline as well. So for me, my nipple to nipple measurement is 3.5. So I'll be taking it down there on the bust point, under bust point, and that's it. So after doing this, I'll just go ahead and connect these points together. Thing we have to do is to divide the shoulder line divide by 2. You divide your shoulder line divide by 2 and connect this line to the bust point with a straight line. You connect it to the bust point with a straight line, just as you see me doing. You just connect it with a straight line like that. The next thing you want to do is to take a half-inch measurement towards the side going to the center front on the waistline and on the under bust line. You take a half-inch measurement towards the side going to the center front, a half-inch measurement, and you just go ahead, you connect the point with a straight line as you see me doing. So the next thing you have to do here is to take a 1.65 inch towards the parts going towards the side. Same thing on the waistline and on the under bust line. So for me, I'll be going in by 1.65 inch for me. But if you're more busty, you can decide to go in by 2 inches depending on how busty you are. But for me, I'll be making use of 1.65 inch, and I'll just go ahead and connect the line as you see me doing. So after connecting this line together, you want to connect these 2 lines to the bust point like that. But for me, while on this level, I used to like to come down by ½ inch. I would like to come down by ½ inch below the bust point, so as for me not to have a sharp end when cutting out my bustier pattern. So I would like to come down by ½ inch below the bust point. So I'll just do that like that and connect these 2 lines to the new point I have below my bust point. So I'll just go ahead and connect the lines together as you see me doing. For the side, you connect it with a curve to give you that curvy bust area that you need. You connect it with a curve like that towards the new point I have below my bust point. So by so doing, the next thing you have to do is to determine the way you want your neckline to be, how high or low you want your neckline to be. For me, from the chest line, I would like to go up by 1 inches because I won't like my neckline to be lower, so I like it high. So I went up by 1 inch from the chest line and connect this line together. This line will serve as my neckline. So now you have to go ahead and blend in the line going towards your bust point. So have not to have a sharp end like I said earlier. So you blend in like that. So after doing this, so the next thing you have to do here is to come in by ½ inch towards the points going to the center front on the new line you have, which serve as your neckline line. So you have to come in by half an inch toward the side, going to the center front on line like that. So on the other side, going towards the side, you have to come, you go in by 1 inch. Depending on how busty you are, you might decide to go in by 1.5 inch, but for me, I would like to go in by 1 inch like that, as you see me doing. So the next is to connect this point to the bust point. You connect the point to the bust point like that. So after connecting this point to the bust point, you now determine how you want your neckline to be on the neckline line. So for me, I would like to come down by half an inch. I wouldn't like my neckline to be low. So in this point, it's depend on your choice. You might want to make a sweet out neckline, a V neckline, a round neckline, anyone, depending on your choice right here. So for me, I'll just be going in by a little slope because I won't like my neckline to be low. So I'm going down by half an inch for my neckline curve. So you just go ahead and connect like that, as you see me doing. You just connect your neckline depending on the type of neckline you want. So after drawing your neckline, you just go ahead and make all those lines visible. All the lines you have towards your side, you make it visible. So now what you have to do next is to just go ahead and take your measurement, your bust measurement, divide by 4. You take the measurement and come back and replace this dot you see at the middle. You measure how many inches you have there and replace it immediately after your base measurement, like you see me doing. After taking in your bust measurement, which is divide by 4, you go ahead and measure the dot intake you have at the middle of these two patterns and replace back the dots behind right after your base measurement, and do same on the waistline. So you go ahead and divide your waist measurement, divide by 4. After marking your base measurement, which is your waist measurement, divide by 4, you go ahead and measure the dots. The dot intake you have, you replace it immediately after your base measurement, as you see me doing. You mark it and replace it immediately after your base measurement. So you just go ahead and connect the bust to the waistline like that. So at this point, remember I want a basque waistline for this pattern. So what I have to do now is to just measure from the top of my shoulder to my navel, to the point of my navel, or any point you feel you would like your back's waistline to stop. So for me, my measurement from my shoulder to my navel, I like my back waistline to stop at my navel. So it's 20 inches, which is the same thing I have right here. This is the measurement I have right here, 20 inches. So I'll just go ahead and determine the length there, which is 20 inches. So I will determine my length here. So after doing this now, what you have to do is to measure the measurement you have on your waistline. You measure what you have on your waistline from the center front like that, and replace it downward like that. You replace what you have on your waistline towards the parts going to the center front and replace it like that. So after replacing the line like that, you just go ahead and do the same thing on the parts going towards the sideways. So you go ahead and measure the width of what you have on the other side. You replace it same way, the way you did on the parts going towards the center front. I have 4 inches there, so I'm replacing it downward as well like that. So after doing so, all you just have to do is to just connect from the waistline downward to your new line. You connect from your waistline, and from the underbust line from the other side too, you connect downward like that. So the next thing you have to do here is to connect from your waistline to your center front, to the midpoint of your center front like that, with a V shape like that. You just connect straightward. So after doing this, you can see the shape is out. You have your back's waistline forming itself. So you just go ahead and cut out